All right, it's been just over 2 years since violent riots destroyed much of Minneapolis, causing an estimated $1 billion in damage. The Ingram angle went back to see how things have changed in and around the city, from it being rebuilt to race relations to crime and much, much, much more. We start tonight in St. Paul, where Angle producer Jessica Curry spoke with one restaurant owner who says he no longer feels safe.
So pre-COVID, this restaurant opened at 7. Now we open at 8 because we want the sun to come up before our staff comes in. We don't want it to be dark. We don't want it to be scary kind of coming into the place. Our other restaurant that's right up on the hill, we close at 9 o'clock now instead of 1 o'clock in the morning.
Brian Ingram owns Hope Breakfast Bar here in St. Paul, Minnesota. And don't think that because we're outside the Minneapolis city lines, the crime stops.
We've had carjackings. We've had staff robbed as they're leaving the restaurant. So for us now, we just shut the businesses down really about sundown. This restaurant has been robbed 3 times, I think, and that doesn't include people coming in and like stealing purses and all of that, but actual robberies and burglaries throughout the night. We have other restaurants here in town, so I think we're at a total of 7 robberies in the last year and a half. And you'll spend $40,000 on a surveillance camera, but again, it's really just wasting money because they always find, we've never not found somebody that robbed us at our office, at our restaurant. So you spend all this money, $40,000 on this, $50,000 on something else. You close your restaurants early, you open or later. You do all of that, you find the criminal, and then they're just back out the next day. So why even spend the money? We're better just leaving the door unlocked and saying, please don't break anything, and just leaving it.
Ingram and his family used to live just blocks away from the breakfast bar. But the spike in crime, including a deadly shooting, made them leave.
It's probably been a year now, but we walked and they had put a shelter right on the corner here called the Freedom House. And me and our brand new baby, I think Banks was 6 months old, were walking and somebody came out and pulled a gun out and just started shooting it up in the air. And we just decided we can't do it anymore.
What kind of support have you gotten from local law enforcement, local officials?
Local law enforcement, they almost show up and they're embarrassed because they know so many of these offenders, and they just tell you, you show them the picture because we have cameras everywhere. They can normally tell us who it is, where they live, and they're almost embarrassed because they know that they'll arrest them, and then they tell you, just so you know, they'll be back tomorrow. And there's just no fear. The criminals know that I'm going to be out of jail tomorrow, so why not? The crazy thing is the amount of repeat offenders. Like for us, the people that have robbed us, rob us, they get out of jail 24 hours later, then they come back and rob us the next week.
Stunning story.